Time. Everyone wishes they had a little more of it. You've realized you've made a mistake and it's now caught up to you, but only if you had a little more time, you could fix things, make it all better. I'm sure all of us wish we had more time, but time, as we know, for us at least, is finite, despite seemingly infinite in the grand scheme of everything. No one character, in my opinion, represents this better than Kizashi from Ichi the Witch. A Magic who seemingly had all the time in the world, but no one to give it to or receive from. If you like Ichi the Witch and Ichi the Witch content, make sure to like, subscribe so you never miss out, and without further ado, let's begin Kizashi's character analysis. When Kizashi first manifested, he became friends with a very small fish, a fish he named Darty. They spent all day and all night talking to one another and hanging out. There wasn't a single time Kizashi and Darty weren't together until Darty was killed by Kizashi on accident. This broke Kizashi, as Darty was Kizashi's only friend, and now he was left alone. Then, something clicked in Kizashi's head. It wasn't his fault that Darty was weak, it was Darty's fault for being weak. Kizashi couldn't change how strong he was, and if Darty wasn't so weak, he wouldn't have died. And so, from that day on, Kizashi refused to befriend anybody who wasn't strong, shaping his entire personality and ideology around this concept. This led to his disdain towards humans, as he destroyed multiple ships and thousands of sailors over countless years, until one day, he stumbled upon his first true friend, the magic that had control over time itself, the Chrono Weaver magic. From first sight, Chrono Weaver wanted to be left alone, vaporizing Kizashi during their first encounter, but Kizashi persisted, coming back and asking Chrono Weaver to befriend him as he loved super strong people. Despite Chrono Weaver's obvious rejections, Kizashi refused to leave his side, spending whatever time he could around Chrono Weaver. This led to what was most likely many years of Chrono Weaver killing Kizashi over and over again. Despite this, Kizashi continued to show right back up, wanting to hang out with his best bud. The two magics with all the time in the world, using it in opposite ways. But somewhere along the way, a strange boat stumbled upon Chrono Weaver's ship holding a young woman, that woman being Minerva. Minerva, the human, and Chrono Weaver, the magic, spent lots of time together and eventually conceived a child. For the first time in his life, he felt the passage of time. Through his countless centuries of existence, he considered this time with Minerva to be his actual life. Minerva showing him the precious phenomenon called love, something magics like him never had. However, rumor spreads fast. The tale of Chrono Weaver having a child and the child making him weaker caught wind to Kizashi, and he went to verify. To his dismay, the rumors were true. Desperate to save his friend, he offered to kill the baby, allowing his one and only buddy to regain his power so they could continue to spend time with one another. However, Chrono Weaver refused. During their climactic battle, Chrono Weaver admits that the time he had spent with Kizashi was not boring, and he looks back on it with gratitude. So Kizashi urges him to stay, pleading with Chrono Weaver to kill him over and over again, but to no avail. In a last desperate attempt, Kizashi created 7 brothers, a coping mechanism of his loneliness, one last-ditch effort to kill Minerva and the baby, the two people who took away his only sense of joy, took away the one person he could truly spend time with and not feel lonely. Some of Kizashi's brothers chased down Minerva and the baby, and they were successful on their mission. However, Chrono Weaver rewinds time, Minerva being saved, and thus this would be the nail in the coffin for Chrono Weaver's life. Kizashi screams at Chrono Weaver, asking why he would go this far to save such a weak and pitiful human. To Kizashi's surprise, Chrono Weaver apologizes, wishing he would have spent more time with Kizashi. He believed he couldn't change his ideology, and that is why he actively pushed him away. He wished he would have introduced Minerva to him. On the brink of death, Chrono Weaver tells Kizashi that it's okay to make friends with the weak, and that as a final request, to love the weak. With Chrono Weaver now dead, Kizashi's mentality spirals. It's his own fault that his friend died, but he was weak, so it wasn't his fault. Then if it wasn't his fault, why wouldn't the sadness stop? It's just like with Darty. He never wanted to feel that way again, but why does he feel it now? He simply wishes he was gone. And now, on the brink of death, Kizashi is given a chance to think. A magic whose entire existence predicated on living through his strength and refusing those who were weaker than him, had his only true friend die because he became weak, experienced his own weakness for the first time, vulnerability. It wasn't physical strength that made someone strong, but emotional weakness that made someone strong. Someone who was willing to become vulnerable and let down their walls. For the first time in Kizashi's centuries of life, he didn't want to die. He simply wanted time. Kizashi, Living a life through strength gave him nothing in return. His time was used to defeat weaker people and kill humans with no emotions. But if you show no emotion, are you truly living? A being with thousands and thousands of years to live, you would feel as if there is no time to do anything. But now, having experienced emotion, regret, sorrow, and most importantly, love, Kizashi finally understands the time that he needs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hoping to post more videos in the future, but that's all for now. Until the next one.